Last session was heavy and weird. We started with an emotional back and forth discussing the note found telling us that the world around us is destabilizing due to our presence here. Emotions are high, and rightly so. No one wants the world to end. Same time, when it comes to if we should stay or go, some of us want to stay, while some of us want to leave. Again, this situation feels like wish fulfillment, where you can do and be whatever you want without consequence. At the same time, consequences are everywhere. When the group followed Mission towards a watchtower nearby, things got weird. Really, really weird. There's a guard running around that looks like 1977 Princess Leia. There's a guard captain that looks and sounds like comedian George Carlin.
Yes.
Straight up down to the way they swore and said the 7 bad words. Hell, and my personal favorite, there was even a humanoid lizard folk with a gorgeous gunblade, which for those who are interested, it looks exactly like Leon or Squall's gunblade from Final Fantasy VIII, talking in a dapper English that looks exactly like Ava's pet lizard, Frank.
So odd.
How very strange and unusual. During this weirdness, Camille and Yang went off towards the guards, who looked like Leia and Carlin, having very much what I would describe as a wonderful moment of fandom, while Ava and Mara walked away towards the city, having an interesting encounter with another Neo in the world by the name of Gideon and their adorable cybernetic cat, Pluto. Both groups had discussions about the state of things, from the found note to if it's worth staying, to wondering what the hell is going on, and if Red is even worth trusting. Eventually, Camille and Yang were asked by Mission to deliver a note to the guards stationed at the steps leading up into the Crystal Tower in the heart of the city. Red did not follow. They stayed at the watchtower by the beach. Mission told Camille and Yang she would watch over Red. The group reconvened in the city and handed Mission's note off. As they did, someone weirdly slow clapped, saying, "Job well done, heroes. Always great seeing a good quest finished." As you turned your gaze towards them, you saw the mysterious assailant that hurt Red, as well as Ava, though Ava did not get as hurt as bad as Red, thank God. That guard, goddamn. Her black hair, this mysterious assailant's hair, it's black, done up in a bun, wearing a lace mask, but their dress this time was weirdly an almost one-for-one match to what Red wears. Why are they here? Why talk to the group after the incident on the beach? This mysterious person eventually removed their lace mask. Doing so caused their hair color to change from raven black to sunflower blonde. Her hair now drapes past her shoulders. She has a faint blue eyeshadow, rouge cheeks, and Marilyn Monroe red lipstick. As this happens, I invoked a flashback detailing how when we played our campaign in Phoenix's apartment back in college, Phoenix had a roommate who also had sunflower blonde hair. And we pick up where we left off. This mysterious person looks at all of you and says, "Yeah, I want to know where Red is. I have a lot of questions. By the way, my name is Alice. Pleasure to meet you." She smiles. She slowly struts away from the group as she lets her words sink in. Each step is a pronounced proclamation of her presence, courtesy of her stiletto heels.
Okay.
My gun is still pointed. I have not
Yeah.
moved, but I'm waiting for talkers to do something.
She's doing, if you've ever, I might get a little film nerdy, so I apologize, guys. If you've ever seen any sort of classic film noir and you think femme fatale, like she's walking exactly like that with every step, just that kind of back and forth sway a little bit. And she's not like walking towards you. It's kind of like, think of it like a lion encroaching upon someone who's in their den, just slowly walking around the group.
And we simultaneously, as Alice is doing this, we realize that Alice is Alice. Yes.
I had a fun way of working that out because I think this might be more fun mechanically. If you all want to roll intelligence and see if you get a success, I think that's more fun.
Sure.
So whatever your number is in intelligence, roll that many d6.
Okay. Good, my
and
intelligence
whatever
is
is a 4+.
I've got 2 successes.
I rolled 2 6s. Does that mean anything?
Okay, 2 6s.
I have 2 6s and a 5.
Oh my god, guys! Nice.
Watch, I'm gonna be the only one that doesn't remember. Don't stress, guys. It'll be fine.
Is it weird though? I feel like that's good storytelling though, because you're just like, I have no idea. I
don't know. I'm just here.
I'm just working out.
Right? Okay, I gotta think. I know I'm gonna say that's like, and you said, what is it? Intelligence of naturally.
Yep.
Okay. What's a success?
4+ individual.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got 1.
Okay, so you
Yes.
you all have that memory of just playing in their apartment. And for those who got 6s, you would know a little bit more. So I'll be nice because I'm like, you can't not give something on a 6. It's like if you get a 10 in Cyberpunk, it's like no, you get a 10. You have to be awesome and get a good thing. For the ones who got 6s, the thing you remember is you remember their appearance in full, and Phoenix's roommate, sunflower blonde hair, like about like good height, not like too tall, not too short. So like in my eyes, anywhere between 5'3", 5'6", maybe even 5'7". A woman. You never really saw them wear makeup before. You've never seen them wear an outfit like this before. They were very much hoodies or like band shirt type person with jeans, which is funny because I'm sounding like I'm describing myself a little bit, but I really don't
A
mean
little
that.
bit like me. Nice.
But like
Same.
not, but like seeing them like this to you is just like I don't ever remember them dressing like this or talking like this or looking like this. But with the hair, it's kind of a dead giveaway because it's just you look at the face and you're like, yeah, I remember that face. You don't. And for the 6s, just because I think this would be more fun, you probably, and I'm going to make this a combination of another roll just because I don't want you to roll this because, yeah, you take a second to do a very up and down quick look. You don't see where the D20 is until you notice when they walk around you, they put the mask back on and kind of magically the hair goes back into a bun. And what's funny about it is you take a second and you realize the D20 is actually like, not like a hair tie, but it's like it's holding the bun together in her hair.
Like a clip.
And I don't know how to explain it. It's just a weird visual because you look at it and you're like, that makes no physical sense. Like that's just not how physics work. But yeah.
Was the
What?
dye glowing? Did we get that clarified last time?
It's not glowing.
Still.
Of course,
all.
it's not. All right.
Her eyes, though, are glowing a deep cerulean.
Okay.
I know, for Mara.
What does it feel? How's it feel to have someone stealing your look?
Your color, yeah.
That's so good.
Right.
Look, Mara,
One
just
thing.
because you even see the blue eyeshadow underneath the lace mask.
Oh.
Rude.
It's
Okay.
very pale. It's like a light pale blue.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think I recognize you, so I'm gonna need you to tell me how you got here. I know, because Ava's sitting there, guns ready. I'm just sitting there by myself with nothing. Right? All I got is a real cool voice.
And are you like us or one of those like copycats?
And
Points
why
in
do
the
you need
general
to say
direction where Mission
that?
went. There will be.
Funny enough, when you point off in the general direction of where Mission went, your AI does not go off. I'm now going to be more fun with that.
no.
This is weird because I don't know if you use Windows or you use Mac, and I'm not sure if this works on Mac. So I look forward to Matt telling me later I'm wrong.
I
You
won't know
have
the
like
difference
the
'cause I've
bottom
never-
right Windows notification thing go off like as like you have a notification, and it's just saying it like a notification goes off. It's like teleport incoming, and you see Mission exactly where you point off, just puff of red just appear there. But it's not like a very nice or pleasant teleport. It's more like she walks out and she stumbles forward rather awkwardly, and then you notice the pocket watch goes flying out of her hands and
Mm.
just hits the ground. With her, you do not see me, but your AI pegs anomaly detected, and it pinpoints the room that we stayed in overnight, that general direction. And when Mission does follow her, she kind of she actually pulls a George. I'm going to now call it this. She pulls a George Carlin, and just swears out loud, like "fuck." And that's when this woman named Alice just looks at her. It's like, I'm as real as she is, and as real as you are.
Ah. I'll shoot you. Give me a correct answer, please. Are you from here? Do you have a life that you remember as a child here or not? Holds the gun back again after angrily moving their arms.
How close are you with the gun? Because I'm going to let you decide how close they are to you.
I mean, I would not have moved at all and just would have been trained. So she's walking us within her walking distance.
She's probably stopped then, and she's maybe less than 10 feet away from you. So, like, if you shot, that's just point blank in my eyes. Like, you could just. And I'm not from here.
Cool. So you're from insert town that we went to college.
And when you say that, her eyes kind of just give you this sort of raised look of like, I would say yes, but I don't remember.
You don't remember.
It's kind of hard to remember things when you've been here as long as I have.
So that's what happens if
100
you
years, huh?
stay.
100 years, yeah.
I don't know. I'm the only one I've known who's been here like this until points at the four of you. Until I've seen the four of you.
You have no recollection of anything other than
I have
she's like points to this and like points over at Ava, and it's like
She just looks at you and is like, I've been here a very long time. Memory is a tricky thing after a while.
I think I read that in a book somewhere. So what I'm hearing is that you're like hundreds of years old.
She just smiles, doesn't say anything in response. Like, I'll leave that up to you to interpret.
Oh my god. I have so many bullets, lady. I have so many fucking bullets. And every answer you get us is going into you.
I won't lie, this is maybe me enticing Holly to do something.
I know. Okay, so here's the deal.
I'll say this, and she takes the D20 out, and she doesn't hide it from you. She just holds it in her hand for the four of you to see. It's not glowing, but it is beautiful. It is a baby blue D20. And when you look in the center of it, it's almost like you see stars shining here and there, but it's not glowing.
Okay. Gonna take that D20.
This stopped glowing
Oh.
I will say this. This stopped glowing a few days ago.
Where are the replacements?
So I don't know, and she looks off in the distance, like, I don't know where your other member of your party is, who is
You were looking for
Again,
them. So why?
Yeah, because I want to know what they did to my die.
You know them? They come here often?
I would love to know who that is because all I can say is red. And this is where I'm going to do this before it's said, and I'm looking at Taylor. And this is also finally where I feel like I've been joking for a few days saying tonight's a good night for answers. I'm just going to explain what the hell I keep saying when I say I'm going to spend something. The GM actually has a mechanic that is wonderfully, maybe horribly named, called cheat tokens. I get as many as the amount of players playing in a session. So I have 4 that I can use. They literally allow me to do 3 things. If I want, I can change the literal physics of the world. So if I decide gravity is just not a thing, I could just have it where you're all floating, which I think is hilarious, but I would never do that because that's not interesting. The other one is you can literally change like certain things, like how I keep changing like people's hair color, stuff like that.
Mm.
You can change the law of the land if you feel like it. Or my favorite one, which is you can change the rules of the game on the fly if you so choose, which is why,
Right.
for those who've read the comic, there is a wonderful moment, which I'm not going to do now because I'm about to say it out loud and I would not do this immediately, where in the comic, the person who's the dictator gets told they can't use their voice in the middle of the day, can only be used at night, and then they
Rude.
permanently are not allowed to use their voice, period, unless it's nighttime. If I never correctly
Wow.
typed the
Mm.
opposite. As for mine, because I feel like being cheeky to make this more fun, for some weird reason for the rest of this scene, if you try to look at someone else and say Phoenix, you can't do it. It's just going to come out as red. Everyone's
Ah!
going to give you the name.
Rude.
I'm not telling her the name anyway.
Right?
That's good. I just want to put a little insurance
I'll
on
trust
that
this
because
shit,
that's
bitch.
Just a bit of
But she just looks at you and she, like all of you, gets extremely frustrated. Just like, I want to know where this red. I hate that fucking rule, and it's
Cool,
been
but you
here
know
as
the
long
real
as I
name.
have. I have no idea. I don't know what your real names are. I don't even know who you
But
are.
I
But
know,
you're
but
having
how?
like a struggle saying red, so
How do you know red?
yeah. You know that.
They
you
look
know
like an extremely good friend of mine.
Flying
Huh.
angel
One
in
that
the
I
sky
thought,
lady?
one that I thought before I came here had passed away.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did y'all play this game together? Just curious. Just want to get like check this one off or on the
You
list.
play like a game together? Like
Yeah.
Sit down at a table.
Before
sheets.
coming here, are you talking about that? Before coming, and she just points around here.
yeah.
For the record, just to go off last session, Mission Tech sent out a missive to all the knights telling them look out for someone in a mask. So they have their mask on, just putting that out there. She just looks at you. It's like, again, memory is a weird thing after a while, and I can't explain it considering how long I've been here, but I don't believe I played anything before this. But at the same time, I don't remember.
Mm.
Ava,
Mara,
roll
does
with
your thing
Ava.
like pull memories out of their head? Like, could you ask her something and she'll finally fucking unlock some vault in her brain?
Well, I was also going to say, Ava, I'm going to allow Edie to help you with this. Roll wisdom with advantage, so add a d6.
Nice.
This is fine.
2 force.
She's lying. She knows exactly everything.
Mm.
You can read it on her face.
She's lying. Cock's gun.
Mara just like as soon as Ava says that, Mara loves to give Ava a lot of shit. Like that is like always kind of been their thing. And as soon as she says that, it is like instant. Mara looks directly at Alice and then goes, "Tell me everything you know." And as she says this, ink blue starts rolling down her face and down her eyes.
Roll the d4 first.
Oh god, okay.
So I always want to do it this way because my brain will not remember it if we just roll it all at once.
Mm-hmm. Got a 1.
Roll all of your charisma.
Okay.
This is fine.
What's gonna go wrong?
And then however many successes, you can add to that d4 number. 0.
Oh no!
Did you get a? Now here's my question because I have to ask this. Did you roll a 1 at all?
Yeah.
Oh!
Yay!
It's
It's
happening!
happening!
I'm really interested to see about this because I purposely not read it because I want to be surprised.
It's not okay. It's not okay. Oh no. Okay.
For those watching, because I love a good critical failure, and this game clearly does too, with a horrible sense of humor. If the dictator crit fails while using the voice, if you roll a critical failure, you're unable to remove the emotional state. It's permanent.
That's fine.
You've literally, as the book said, you broke someone. Ignore the D4 when calculating whether something is a critical fail or not. So you rolled a 1 on all those charisma dice. Yeah, that's a fail. Can you repeat what you asked just so I can have it in my head? Because I want to make sure I do this correctly.
Tell me everything you know. I just want to make it clear I'm referencing all the things she knows about the game, not everything that she knows in the whole wide world.
Here's my question though, because I want to get funny with it. If when asking that though, do you think they would interpret it that way?
I mean, I would say
Also,
no.
what emotion-
Talking about the game.
I
and
would
the
say
previous
no,
world.
I
yeah,
know, I
because
agree, I
Ava made it
agree.
very clear that she doesn't know anything, or she does know everything about what we're asking her.
Yeah, it's in context.
What emotion was that specifically? Was it submission, admiration?
It was a mission.
I've been
Great.
waiting for a crit fail for so long.
No!
I'm
fine.
sorry. You ever get that? You ever have that look someone gives you sometimes where you're talking to someone and you say something and you can tell clear as day they're just not getting it and they give you that sort of blank stare. And then maybe, or you have that moment where you do tell someone something and maybe it's just too real for them and their eyes immediately gloss for a second out of like terror. She has this split second look, Mara, when you do that her eyes just freak out for a second. And she just looks at you like, oh, okay. What do you want to know? I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Just let's not, whatever. What do you want to know? I'm ready to submit to you however you want. Like, just tell me what you want. I will let you know. I could speak about how wonderful this city is, how you could go to the tavern and get the best meal you've probably ever had in your life, or how Mission is actually not a bad person. And one, she says Mission's name like that. You could also go to the mechanics. They're really nice people, including, and she looks at Ava, including that one that you clearly don't like. They're actually very nice.
No, she's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
She's the
I just
fucking
looked. Yeah, I looked at
worst.
Kevin for backup. I'm like, right.
I don't know.
So
Gideon
we
is
should probably
quite-
leave and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
What?
Before we have this conversation.
Just in response to what you said about Gadget, he's like, yeah, but Gideon's also a real pain in the ass.
What?
I don't trust him.
Okay, I was like, she didn't like do the it's hard to say his name thing for Gideon.
No, she's under full submission, and I feel like with
Oh,
that,
God.
she would say every name without struggle.
Dang.
Okay. So I need you to tell me about Red. And what you
I
know.
still don't know who Red is.
Okay. But why are you looking for Red again? I mean, obviously your dice thing
Because
sucked
when you
and
5
changed.
entered this world, my die completely stopped glowing.
Did you lose any abilities?
I can still use them, which is weird. But it's making me worried that if it's not glowing, will I be allowed to go home?
I think that ship sailed, baby.
Yeah.
Is that when missions stopped glowing too?
She actually turns around, and for Ava's sake, you see Mission walking off exactly towards where the mechanics are. You can actually see where they are now. She walks into a building, like a little bit off in the distance. And even from that, I'm going to say Edie does something cheeky, which is a notification pops up. And it's like an audio file of like honing in, and you just hear the worst shouting possible. It's like, what the fuck, guys? Like, that just was not durable.
So she like didn't
And
see
it's-
us or talking to this person?
No, she did not see you at all. That it's that type of thing where if you have ever I know I've had this, where you kind of get so honed in on something that just stresses you out that you kind of tune everything else around you off. It was that type of
Mhm.
moment where you're just like, okay, someone just had a really bad thing happen. They're in their own little world.
Okay.
For Alice, she just looks at you, Mara, just like, whatever you want, I'm ready to just. And she even gets very, very close to you when she says that. And to make it funny, because you're, as always, a giant woman, she's
am.
about 5'5".
Wait, when she
If you
looked
want, I
towards
can even take my.
mission,
I can even. Oh, go ahead.
when she looked towards mission, was she confused? Like she didn't know she had to die? What was?
Oh,
what
she
was
didn't finish
the
that.
point?
Thank you. My brain turned off for half a
Yeah,
second.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
trying to remember that. ADHD is a wonderful thing, everyone. When she looks at Mission, she looks back at you. No, that's not whoever you think it is in real life. That's just some kind of echo of that person. Same with Gideon. They're not a real person either. So they are dreamy looking. They're very pretty.
And Gadget then too, right? She doesn't strike me as the
She
type.
just points at you. It's like whatever came out of your head. Most likely, I would imagine, depending on
Wasn't
looking
actually
at your reaction of it.
Damn it.
Again, she just looks at you, Mara. It's like, if you like, I'll even take my mask off for you. And she's now getting very flirtatious because submission to me is some form of that. It's like, whatever you desire, I am all for this. I'm here to help you out.
Would you like some
However-
privacy?
Yeah, we can
No,
go
stay.
get a
Please
burger or
stay.
something.
Please stay. Well, guys, like, do we? I mean, I think you should take your mask off.
She takes it off. Blonde hair again, just perfectly drapes past their shoulders. Pale blue eyeshadow, that whole makeup look. Her eyes are still glowing that deep cerulean.
I think you should leave that off for a moment or two or a few.
Oh, why? Is there is there a reason?
Because I want you to.
Why
She
do
just
you
looks at you
put
like,
it-
fair enough.
Like,
Why do you put it on?
Hmm.
This is actually, you know what? I'm gonna try to do something that I'm gonna fail on, but I'm gonna do this anyways. I'm gonna make a roll on something. I'm gonna I'll take away a die because of freaking credit fails. For Mara, you're actually kind of stunned. She resists for a second. It's like, I can't tell you that out here. It would freak people out.
okay. Where can we go?
She points in a direction that I have alluded to multiple times, but you don't
Yeah.
see many people going in there. She points up the stairs into the crystal.
This is a setup, but all right, we're going. I'm going. You guys
I promise
can
this
stay.
is not a setup.
Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot.
And she just
That's
looks
a
at you like,
thing.
I would never do that to you. Have my word.
And this is
all right.
forever, Nate.
Oh yeah, this is permanent. You broke them.
Crap. Okay.
Here's the thing. If I want to, as the GM of the game, I can spend a token to make that
Okay.
not permanent. But this is hilarious, so no.
You said so. No, we're not.
Mhm.
All right.
I guess I'll come.
Yeah.
I'm going up
the
there.
thing.
Just in the crystal because that seems great and safe. Yeah, Ava, you in?
Sorry, can't hear.
You're muted.
Sure. That was it.
As
So,
Roll
you
there.
say,
so over it.
as you say, sure. Another happens. I'm gonna say Bamf, but I also don't want that to be a weird copyright thing because it just makes me think Nightcrawler. Gideon teleports out of nowhere, just sees you off in the distance, and gives you the most gentlest of waves, before pointing to where he's going and just walks off in the distance.
Ooh.
I just look back. What the fuck is going on here?
Like,
Losing my mind.
well, no, I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like lean in because I'm going to let Alice lead the way, and I'm gonna like lean in, kind of let her get a couple steps ahead, and be like, I don't think that went like it was supposed to. This,
Yeah, they seem a little into you.
yeah.
A little.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
They weren't even listening to anything the rest of
Okay.
us were saying. It's like you're the only one here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. Like, so yeah, I don't think that feeling is leaving. My gut is telling me that this is not changing anytime soon. So I'm thinking, I'll just get an army of people. That'll be fine.
Okay.
I strongly suggest you reconsider that. That's gonna get real messy. Question though, since she's just very into you and answering questions. Obviously, let's figure out who the fuck she was playing a game with. How did she get here? Why hasn't she left? Blah blah. You know, all that good stuff, and why the world is fucking falling apart, and it's probably more their fault than ours.
Mm,
Yeah.
Should I go see what weird manifestation of my perfect dream man is? Because if she says he's not the right person, like, do I need to like discover that, or are they just like running simulations of what they think we want? You know?
Yeah, just a little bit Truman Showy.
yeah. If you feel like you can handle yourself, you just so and like Mara is very she's not scared or like terrified. She's just real nervous about what has happened. And so she's like, "Can you just repeat one more time what I'm supposed to ask her?" Like
Okay, yeah. How she got here? That's a big one. Obviously playing a game, but like who with, you know? Because I obviously she still knows
mhm.
Zoe, so I don't know how long in real life she's been here because she isn't. Anyway, that I think is an important one. Has the world been fucking falling apart the entire time they're here? Because I feel like it's their fault more than ours. They've been here for
Yeah.
100 years.
We haven't done anything.
We haven't done shit. We get to have a nice weekend vacation. Who else they were with?
Mhm.
If it's not Mission, if it's not Gideon, if it's not these people that we also see with Dice, like someone else had to have been here.
Okay.
And why they haven't left yet, I guess. I don't know. All these just the bullshit.
Got it. Okay, yeah. All right, got it. Be careful.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I can get back to y'all real quick. I guess hey Edie, could I like I don't know how this works. Could you like track one of them and then start beeping in my head if someone's like in trouble? Is that a thing? Could I have like can you like life alert them for me?
Yes.
Edie has a display icon pop up where it just lists Yang, Camille, Mara, and it just says, "Who do you want me to track?"
Is it a one? Is it a pick one situation?
Yes. Seems very binary.
Mara, I guess.
Ding. And then for Mara, when you look at Mara, she has this faint outline now around her whenever you look at her. And it says, Mara. And it has like, oh God, this is really funny. So let's do it. There's like a pin icon above her head. Like
so
on
funny.
Google Maps, just drop a
Google
pin.
Map pin.
I guess
Add
just
to
like
favorites.
yeah, start flailing wildly if there's trouble.
Flailing wildly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, because I want to be cheeky, because I said you would now hear Joker's voice anytime you got a message.
Yeah.
Edie responds with, "Yes, Commander."
I love it. Anyway, I'm gonna go see what
Okay.
Don't go far.
No. I think if I really wanted to at this point, I could teleport to the moon. So what is far? You know,
Be rad.
right?
Okay.
I mean, you
I
could
disappear.
Oh
So-
man.
one's going one way. Are the three of you going into the tower with Alice? Who is
Yes.
going to lead the way?
Unless
I
one
am.
of us needs to find Red. And
I actually think the
bring
person that could probably find Red the fastest just left.
I guess.
Sorry. I do know where she is, but I was not going to say it with a person that might murder them in front of us.
Right.
That's a good.
I mean, I will say for Camille's sake, because we've kind of
Yeah.
talked a little bit about this.
Yeah.
You can technically ask your god even to tell you, or because
I was
we
thinking
haven't
about
really-
that.
yeah, we also haven't
Oh.
technically had this happen yet, so you get to kind of decide this. One of the things Godbinders can do is obviously my favorite thing from last session, noun plus blast. But it's
Mhm.
also noun plus detect, or like you can detect
Yeah.
noun. It can be whatever you want it to be. So if you just want that to be detect where red is, I'm not going to say no to that. The
Yeah,
only
'cause
reason
that's
the only thing I would say no to is if you're like detect like all the people in the city. It's like no, that's too broad of a
Mm.
topic. It has to be very specific.
Yeah. I think I will do that. I'm just like sort of she's kind of just we need to get Red here and finally get some answers because there's been so much dancing around the truth by this person who's now lying to us and is now sort of smitten with Mara and won't talk to any of the rest of us properly.
Just like
And now Ava's gone. Um
Yeah.
She's just like broken away from the group and is sort of fretting about where Red is, and she finds herself sort of like asking, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? And I guess that sort of manifests as like almost like a prayer or a question to some higher power as to where she might be. And that message transmutes across.
yeah, and what's fun about it too is Proserpina doesn't kick in at all. You just you have a very similar kind of thing and feeling, I guess, like Ava does. You could look off towards you have this feeling in the back of your mind that's literally you just kind of keep following where this feeling is pointing you towards, and then
Mhm.
you can just see for the briefest of seconds what looks like a very faint red outline off in the distance in the sleeping area or like the living quarter area.
Oh. Yang?
Yeah.
I can see where Red is.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go and bring them here so we can talk properly.
All right. Just be careful. I've got
Yeah.
and Yang is gonna like kind of point to his head, but then realize that doesn't say anything. But 'cause I'll know if you're in danger.
Yang, you can go.
Okay.
No, it's okay. We're going into Creepy Tower. I don't want you to go
All
in there
right.
alone.
Creepy tower.
I'll meet you back here soon.
Be careful.
Yeah, be careful.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna head out
As
to where the glowing red beacon of red is.
yeah. And always fun having 3 different groups.
Oh no, I know. It'll go fast, I swear.
No, it's good. So what I'm going to do, because I want to do this step by step, Camille, on your way there, you have to kind of go through where the tavern is in the marketplace, because it's just that's the direction most people go to get back to where they're staying for the night or where they live. You're not really sure if it's like more of a hotel situation or if this is just permanent residence. It's just kind of one of those questions, I guess, that's just not going to get answered. Or it could. Depends on you. Walking by the tavern, because I've been wanting to do this for a while, walking by the tavern, you hear a very distinctive voice. And it's the one that you're honing in on, Red, and it's hard for you not to because no matter what, that outline is just there. You see it, it's not going away. But the minute you hear this voice, it probably makes you stop. And what I want to know, because we've not talked about this, and I think it's more fun now for you to tell us.
Okay.
Tell us about Polly's husband and what they're like.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So,
And if
Michael
this is also something that I'm going to broach out to the others, because social media is a thing, but do you all know Polly's married?
Probably
Probably
not.
not.
I didn't know her mom died, so I'm gonna go ahead and say the answer is no.
Mhm.
We'll leave that as a
Online,
thing up for
totally.
everyone else.
Ava was
Yeah.
like very clued into what everyone's lives were like. So like if it was publicized, totally.
There would have been like a Facebook status when it happened, but no evidence of anything ever since.
It's
Okay,
probably
then
one
I
of those
would
things that if I
know.
heard about it, I'd be
I
like, oh,
probably
right.
forgot.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. Michael is somebody that she met when she started working at the lab. There's sort of very little love between them. He is unfaithful. She knows that he is unfaithful. And she knows also that there's very little that she can do about that, because if she were to break away from him, she would not have the money based on her job, and based on the fact that they work in the same place, and that he is sort of in a higher position than her within the company, and she is finding it very difficult to advance based on the dynamics of the workplace. So if she were to be on her own, she wouldn't be able to support herself. So she's kind of stuck in this horrible relationship and living situation. And they live together more or less, but they still avoid each other at all costs, work opposite shifts. And it's very dry and cold, and a kind of a point that of trauma that she doesn't really like to talk about at all whatsoever, because it's the sort of source of her imprisonment, I guess.
You clear as day know that voice. You would know it anywhere. Whether, as you said, clearly not for the best. At the
Mm.
same time, the voice sounds a little more upbeat than you're probably used to. So maybe your gaze for a second looks up, and you don't see them, but you can tell it's coming from the tavern.
I think she's tempted for a moment to investigate, because to her it sounds like the way that he sounded when they first met, happy and inviting, and so different to the way that things are now. But I think after a moment she'll just clock it and remember within herself that there's somebody around here that that sounds like him, probably looks like him as well, based on the things that they've been seeing, and just um keep going, I think, to
Okay.
to where Red is. Although she's very like distracted now by that.
As you do walk off towards where Red is, the one distinctive thing you do clock is you can hear their voice again, but it's more like in a interesting form of as a celebration. You just hear a bunch of people clinking glasses saying, "Cheers, good job. That was not an easy thing to take down. Good job, guys." And it just seems like some group, you can't tell if it's your partner from real life, but some group is celebrating what seems like a good fight or victory for the city. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Ava, you teleport in that direction, and I'm going to say, because I think cheeky, fun, comedic moments like this are always entertaining. You teleport, and you're the one who almost teleports right into Gideon.
Mhm.
Like, it's that perfect moment, and like, I don't know why I'm going to do it this way, but it's because, again, movies are going in my head today. It's like that, like a romance movie, two people meet at the exact same point, and it's like, oh, hi. Oh, I didn't know you were here at the same point. It's that type of teleport. You just
Yeah.
bump into him like that, and he just looks at you like, huh. Hi. Quite the
She tries
entrance.
to like steady herself. She's very much like trying to make that like I am pissed, I am annoyed, I hate this place wash away for a minute and just like try and like look like she is totally okay. Everything is fine and you're hot is what she's trying to put on. And then she's like,
Shh.
hi.
Would you like to come in? Check out what we've got going on.
Absolutely.
I apologize. Gadget might be there, so if that's not to your taste, don't worry. Just ignore them.
I'll deal. I'm sure.
Awesome. What's interesting is he walks forward, takes a left into like this open area, and then you kind of realize like, oh, actually, that's not where the shop is. There's a set of stairs he's walking up towards where the shop is, and you realize that the shop's actually not on the bottom floor. It's the floor above it. So that way it's like an open air workshop kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do see and eventually follow him, when you do look at the workshop in full, because I have thought about this for a while, what does Mikey's home look like? Like, what does their living space look like? And then also, I want you to add elements from Mikey's jobs into it as well. So, like, if Mikey had like what their work office looks like or wherever they work out of, add parts of that in as well. I'm gonna let you describe all of this.
So yeah, like their like home space is probably like a studio apartment, like a bit larger of a studio, but still just that with like, you know, small New York City kitchen, super tiny, like bathroom kind of vibe, but then the one big main open area. So like half of it is like sectioned off bedroom area, whereas then like the other half is probably where she does a lot of like her work. Has like a desk, has Frank's big aquarium, and he lives better than she does by tenfold. But you know, has like a desk where she does a lot of more drawing and like more practical design. She's one of those people who's picked up like a 30 billion like hobbies too. So probably has like a section that has like a dress form and a sewing machine, and she'll like do some of that. But this is where she'll like sit and do a lot of her computer work. Whereas then like day to day, I mean, half her job is dog walking, so that can be anywhere. But then, you know, coffee machine, barista kind of vibe for other workspace. So she's either like at her desk, at the coffee shop, walking dogs through the park.
It's the workshop you walk into and see. Again, it's kind of in an open air space. It's an amalgamation of everything you kind of just described. There are parts of it that remind you of home. There are parts of it that remind you of your favorite little indie coffee shop down the street in New York City that gives you the exact cup of coffee you want every day or whenever you're able to. And because you did write this down as an interest, and I wanted to pinpoint this, not just because in my real life I'm a photographer, there is an entire workstation.
She's a closet that's a black
completely
room,
looks
sure.
like,
or dark
yeah,
room.
it looks like a black room setup, but it's not like your regular style film cameras, but it looks like someone's trying to learn how to build something like that.
Gotcha.
And to add to it in a little bit, just because I want to do this, you do clock where Gadget is. She's not near you, opposite end of the room. She's talking to someone. It's not like a heated talk. It's just a very pleasant, what looks like discussion. But for you, just be like, eye roll.
Yeah. Trying so hard to keep her face just like non-reactionary. And the slightest is like, oh, this is a nice mix of space you're doing.
Yeah, they thankfully looks off in the distance, doesn't see him. Like, yeah, Mission just kind of said, like, look, whatever you guys need for a setup, just do it. Like, just make it happen, get to work, whatever you need, don't worry about it. And you know, when you have a lot of stuff like this, when it's loud noises, it's better to just keep it out in the open, I guess, rather than enclose it and make it sound much louder than it needs to. I think most of the residents would hate us if we were anywhere near the living quarters. They'd probably want to throw us all out.
I'm sure.
Would you like and he points to where the coffee is. Would you like a drink?
Of course. I
Smiles.
would gladly.
And
Is there
he
liquor
walks
or
off.
is it like just caffeine? Either's fine. Don't worry about it.
You know what? Because you said it like that, that's more fun. He walks over and it's not just, you do smell coffee. Because as I said many sessions ago, you gotta have your caffeine regardless of fantasy or not.
Yep.
You smell tea. And you do see bottles of what could possibly be booze. It's like,
We'll shut at that.
jokingly laughs while saying this, pick your poison. Not literally poison, just turn a phrase.
Yeah. I think she'll just like kind of like walk up and just kind of bump him out of the way and just start making coffee. I mean, this was one of her jobs too. So I think she just makes like an espresso martini with whatever the fuck that liquor is. It was like, oh.
And what's funny too is there's a literal espresso machine. So if you want to do it, you can make an exact espresso or latte however you would know how to. So he would probably just stand next to you and just be amazed, like, huh, I didn't know someone who. Have you used one of these before?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Is this supposed to be like new invention? What's the
No,
vibe?
just more of the only ones who really know how to use this are, and he just points around the room, are kind of just those of us who work here. It's just interesting. Awesome. That's great because it means I don't have to tell someone how to use it.
Well, points to mechanical arm. I guess it just comes preloaded for us, huh?
As you say that, kind of appearing out of nowhere on the table next to the coffee, giving the most, oh god, now we're going to do cat noises, giving the most robotic meow, like meow, is Pluto, which is this gorgeous, short-haired tabby that's like just calico colors. Just perfectly like any cat would, plops itself right next to the cup of coffee and just stares at you with its glowing cybernetic eyes.
Oh, damn it. I was going to get a pet. Shit. Gives a little scratch.
I mean, you could still ask them for that if they decide to make their presence known.
Yeah. Well.
Then again, I hope they really don't show up here. And he looks off in the distance. It would freak the others out so much.
But, yeah. Interesting about that. Like, I don't know. I mean, I've never met anyone else that has had any sort of interaction with them. What was it, just by surprise they showed up one day and gave you gifts? How did this happen?
It was very sudden and unexpected. I stupidly left my home to do a delivery. And when I say home, I don't mean the city. I mean the outpost I was telling you about where I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to do a package delivery from there to here, and I got ambushed by 2, 3 fallen, and I didn't have any implement on me whatsoever to take them on. And then out of nowhere, I don't know where they came from, but they just appeared, completely snapped their fingers. The fallen were gone, and then they just looked at me. Were like, again, points at Pluto the cat. It's like, and then I got Pluto, but also I got another gift, which is, and because I was thinking about this too, because I realized I said cybernetic arm, and then I was like, oh wait, pet is more fun. Let's do that, but I still don't want to give up the arm. It's like, and he looks at his arm, presses a button, and while yours presents gun, which I love that it's he presses a button, his hand, it's like a transformer. His hand completely transforms, and you see what looks like an energy bladed weapon of sorts just appear. Looks it's just like this perfect sort of like electric green glow out of it. Presses another button, back to a hand. It's like, yeah, I mean, you know, there's ramifications in accepting gifts from random people, but also that saved my life. The only downside being, he looks at Pluto, is in order to have Pluto, I need to find Fairgold every morning.
Yeah. That's something caffeine can't fix, huh?
No, and there's never enough of it, is there?
Yeah. Not really.
Off in the distance, before I switch back to Mara and Yang, you hear a very large shouting match happening. You
Mhm.
turn around, as does Gideon, and in the process of turning around, you just look at him and he just rolls his eyes. And whoever Gadget's talking to, it's just extremely frustrating. Like they sound like they're being full on blamed for something being faulty and not useful. And you hone in and you actually get shocked because you realize who's shouting at them and it's Mission.
Mm.
And it's just like, I literally like get like, I know you guys are probably overworked and honestly, you all need to take a break more often than not, but like we can't have faulty equipment when shit is getting really, really bad right now. So please, I don't care what the hell happens, fix this and make it work. And just she walks off, boss lady style, out of the room. And you just, this is the first time where I want you to describe this emotion for me in terms of something Mikey would have felt in real life. Describe a moment in Mikey's life where you probably just had someone do that to you and you just felt utterly defeated.
I mean, have y'all ever worked in the food industry? That's a Tuesday, baby. And she's had a lot of Tuesdays of just like probably there, one in particular, just having a shit day. Probably had like a job interview fall through, a audition that she didn't get, was already having a shit day, and then it ended with just like some lady throwing an iced coffee in her face because it had 2 pumps of caramel instead of 1, like something just so stupid that you're like, why is this so important to someone when my life's falling apart? Kind of vibes.
You linger on Gadget's face longer than you like, and you just fully can tell because you can see it from a distance. It's just that moment where that happens. Because I know I've been in that situation before in real life. That's awful. I feel like most of us have. You can just see it from that distance. The tears just kind of start welling up, and she just kind of slumps back and just whatever watch Mission handed her, she just kind of just throws on the floor and just walks out of the space, and you can fully just hear every tear coming out of their eyes more than you like.
Yeah, I think I'll kind of give Gideon a like, bosses, am I right? Kind of look and like walk over and go kind of pick up the pocket watch and probably go find Gadget.
And this is where, and I'm going to switch after this, you hear Gideon say, yeah, she should have known better. That was clearly a rush job. And just rolls his eyes, turns around, tries to go to where the photo gear setup is. Mara and Yang, you have God, this is the weirdest description for something I will ever say in a game ever. You have you have Alice who is fully submitting to Mara. She's walking side by side with you, Mara, and you can tell every now and then because again, you're such a giant person. She's looking up at you and just that subtle smile and just that coyness of someone who's just like, the best way I guess I can describe it is someone who's just completely smitten by someone, and it's almost like, I really do. I will do anything you say. I'm just so happy to just be in your presence. It's that type of feeling. You both walk up the steps, correct? Towards that crystal?
Yes.
There's a guard stationed up there. It's like, can I help you? Do you have any business today inside, or?
Yes.
And that's when he looks at Alice. He's like, Lady Alice, by all means, go right on in. Like, thank you.
Like she looks at Yang and is like, lady.
Wow.
Okay.
Where
with her?
Yeah. He looks at you. It's like, clearly, go ahead. They points there, and then you see another guard who just opens this door. And I described it a little bit last session very quickly, but it is massive. It is this gorgeous, it's built into the crystal. It's a crystal ornate door that opens more outward. So not like opens inward, but opens outward. And Alice stops standing by her side and is like, just follow me. I know where to go to talk. Then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, because I am so here for that.
And I'm just like, pat her on the head, because I am definitely tall enough to do that. And I'm like,
Oh, no.
okay, thanks. Just you lead the way.
I'm going to try to make this
Lady
so
Alice.
uncomfortable as possible
Yeah,
now.
well,
You
you're doing
pat
a
her on
great
the head, and she just goes, and just walks.
All right, good.
Great.
When the three of you technically walk in, you take a quick second to just get your surroundings, and it's just this gorgeous crystal blue. It is like this perfect, think like, when you have clear ocean water and it's that blue, it's like that everywhere you look. Every now and then you see like gorgeous golden accents here and there. And then you see a set of stairs going up. You even see a set of stairs going down, which now brings a lot of questions of how deep does this goddamn thing go? Who knows? That's a fun question. Alice looks at you and is like, we got to go up at least, I think, 2 floors, but then we can talk as long as you.
Okay,
and she looks
okay,
at
yeah.
Yang very quickly, as long as you two want to talk. Though I think, but she looks at Yang's like, but I think you want to talk more to your other friend who left more than me.
What are you talking about? I don't understand.
This is where you say that, and she leans into you. It's like, oh, don't be coy. It's clear as day on your face. And then she starts walking up the set of stairs.
Mara literally just makes the big eyes and is like, and just like, following you, like,
All
just
right.
doesn't even. I'm like, I don't
Hey.
want to embarrass you anymore. Being read for filth by somebody who literally can't not at this point. So
You know what? As she walks in front of you, she waits for you to get up like a step or two, Mara. And without permission, she just like, no, follow me. And she grabs one of your hands and will not let go. She's leading you on, like up the stairs. Again, as you walk up, even the steps are crystalline. Nothing like glares in your face about it, but it's just, this is the most over-the-top ornate thing you've probably seen in your lives. It's just literally, there's no way this would be real, because it would probably break with every step. There's just no way that could happen. It's just not physically possible. You go up 2 flights of steps, which takes a little bit, because literally when she said flights of steps, she meant 2 stories. So like quite a bit. Which, depending on your footwear, you're probably fine. Might not be. She's technically wearing, because you can hear it with every fucking step, she's wearing stiletto heels. So it's every step is pronounced to the T perfectly. Eventually, she gets to the second floor. There's a door there. There's like 2 guards stationed. And they see her, they see you, they see Yang walk up. They give a full salute to her and open the door. When you walk in, it is this, again, gorgeous ocean blue coloring. And then you look on the floor and it's got like this almost arcane, like sort of magic sigils here and there, kind of gracing it, but it's also very astrology based. And you even look up and you see like a full, like, think like solar system setup with like planets and stars on the ceiling just rotating around slowly. You see there's a door on the left side. You see there's a door on the right that's open. And when you do cross into the middle of the room and you look probably where that open door is, you see nothing but books, like hundreds of books, like just not in bookcases at all. It is, I'm going to oust myself on stream, don't care. It's like how I have right now with multiple stacks of books next to my bed that are stacked one after the other, because I have nowhere else to put them. But also, I love that. It's a great aesthetic. Judge me later. Which, yeah, you look in and it's like these books, one, they're just piled everywhere. They're on chairs, they're on counters. Maybe there is a bookshelf in there and it's just full, but also some of these books are literally just wide open. And then they have a book on top of that with another one that's wide open on top of that. It seems like someone has been taking notes like crazy. You see some sort of like setup area in there where they could probably, I don't know, maybe put the book down or have a place to put food or whatnot. You're not sure. You just see so many books. There's no chairs in this room whatsoever. It's all standing. And she gets to the front of it, which there is like a tiny, ever so slight stair, like steps, set of steps, like 4 or 5 steps. And then she just gets up to it, looks at you. It's like, looks at the door to make sure it's closed. The guard's open. It's like, okay, it's closed. What do you want to talk about? I am all ears. I can even, and she again walks kind of towards you and points to the room. It's like, I can even show you what we've been working on.
Yeah, maybe
Whatever
later.
you want to know.
Yeah, maybe later. So how did you get here? Do you remember that?
That was, she gets, this is where this happiness of like someone probably just being very happy just to be around someone, you see it slightly waver for a second. It's like, that's not a happy story. Do you really want to hear that?
I mean, if you could just like, I don't know, like, paraphrase that, like just like the cliff note it.
I came here over 100 years ago. Or at least in this world, it's 100 years. I don't know how long it's been in the real world. Time moves weird here.
Okay.
For Yang's sake, this person, you maybe feel pity for them. Because this is just like, what the hell did Mara do?
Yeah.
The right thing. Okay, but how so if it's 100 years ago, but how did you get here? Like, did you make a wish? Were you forced here?
No, I was not forced here. I had it wasn't, she holds the D20 out again. It's like, it wasn't this one. I had another one. And I did the thing I was given. I did it early, I guess, maybe. I wasn't supposed to do it then, no idea. But also I had a fight with my friend that day, and I was just kind of curious what they gave me. So I did the thing that was written down, pick the die up, drop it after 3 seconds, and then next thing I know, I was here.
Do you remember that friend's
Actually, and
name?
I was actually here in this exact room, which was weird.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Do you
I
remember?
don't know how they made it though.
Science. Do you remember? Do you remember who your friend was?
Again, it's been 100 years. It's very difficult to remember at the moment. She's struggling a bit. You can tell, like, when you ask that, like, part of it seems like she's maybe actually somehow resisting a tiny bit. At the same time, she also looks genuinely confused and cannot seem to remember. But also, if you want to do, as I had Ava do, want to roll wisdom as a form of insight, by all means. I love that.
Okay. I'll do that, even though my wisdom's real bad. Okay.
Yeah, you never know. Anything can happen.
Okay, I have 2 successes.
Nice.
Oh, nice. See, don't touch yourself.
Yeah. Because I switched out my dice from earlier.
Oh yeah, the dice are bad. They go to dice.
Get out. Yep, they get out.
Yeah, they get needed. Yup. She genuinely looks like she doesn't remember.
Huh.
And also, anytime she tries thinking of names, it just keeps. She just doesn't know what to say. She just looks at you like, it's been so long. I don't. Again, my memory has not been what it has been because it's been 100+ years of being here at this point.
So because she's doing so well, I'm going to grab her hand and I'm going to just like set it in between both of my palms and I'm going to just stroke it a little bit and be like, that's okay. Do you know how to leave here?
Almost in a weird, not robotic, but a very like I have read this 1,000 times kind of way. Just like, well, yeah, all players must gather together and each say the game is over. Or if they wanted to continue, all players must gather together and each say the game continues. Once a decision's made, it's final.
Did you choose to stay?
I have not been allowed to go home, and I don't know why. I'm kind of assuming, and this is where if I don't know how, Yang, are you standing next to Mara?
I've probably made a little bit of distance when Mara
Yeah, I
did the
figured.
hand sandwich thing. 'cause-
No, that's cool. I just wanted to check
Little
for
hand
Yang's
sandwich.
sake, because I feel
Yeah.
like Yang, you have stances and emotion stuff that would probably go off if you'd used it or not. But you, Yang specifically, because I want to call you out on this, you see her walk up to Mara and she just takes a finger and Mara, she points directly at the die embedded in your forehead. It's like, I have this weird theory that maybe will freak you out, but I think I was I don't recognize you or know who you are, but I have this weird feeling I was supposed to be part of your party, but I got here early.
100 years early?
Yeah, but also I don't know if that's whack because again, mine is not D20 is not glowing anymore, and then the other one I have I is not working at the moment.
Um,
At this point, because I like, and I'm going to spend a token on this to make it permanent, because I just love adding conflict. The door opens, and you clear as day when you both turn back. It's Mission, and she just looks at the three of you. She first looks at the two of you like, "What are you doing in my? What are you doing in my? This is technically my chambers." And then she sees Alice, and is like, "Why are who are you and why are you here?" And that's what I'm going to say for Mara's sake, because you already rolled and I don't want to do this. I'm going to act it as perception. Mission is totally trying to lie right now, like she doesn't know who Alice is.
Oh.
And with that, let's take a 10-minute break.
About Mission
Yeah.
being sus. I thought she wasn't going to be sus, but she's sus actually.
And she's not
God
sus
damn
for
it.
Alice. Crap. I knew
What?
it.
We'll be back in 10 minutes. That's what I was saying, but I was muted. Bye.
Hi, everyone. We're back. As I said, Mission walks in and kind of just gives this look of like, looks at the two of you. Why are the two of you in here? And then looks at Alice like, who are you? And stumbles over her words like someone point blank caught in a lie, doesn't know who that is. And like I said, because you rolled wisdom, I'm going to use wisdom as an overall blanket where it's not being specific on perception or insight. You can just tell she's fucking lying out of her head.
Okay.
And she's looking at the two of you now more specifically, like, why are you in here? Usually, no
Why
one's
are
usually allowed
you
in here unless I
lying?
say.
Yeah.
Why are you lying?
I'm sorry.
Mm. Why are you lying? Mission, please. You know what? Just hold on. Hey. And she looks over and she's like, "Dear, do you know Mission?"
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
I've known them a long time. And then Mission's face just goes bright red. Like,
Mm,
what did you?
nothing.
Okay, I'll talk. But what's wrong with her? Because
Nothing. Why would something be
that's
wrong
not
with
the
her?
Alice I know.
Mm,
That's not the Alice I know. They wouldn't be that forthright.
so you
Why
do
not?
know Alice.
She looks at the open door she has and she immediately closes it. It's like, yes, I do know her. And that is something I don't feel like the rest of this tower needs to hear shouted out loud.
Why?
Tell me what happened. She just looks at you like, tell me what happened to my friend first, and then I'll be forthright. To which.
Oh, see, that's so funny that you say that, Mission, because I'm the one asking the questions right now, and you're the one giving the answers because you tried to lie, ma'am.
Mara, in
Let's go.
Eden's life, was there ever a point where Linda, who was your friend in college, you two just had a
Friend.
disagreement that you just couldn't agree on?
Ava.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right. Yes, there were several. Ava being one of them, or Mikey at the time, and there were one in particular, where, for lack of a better word, Mara was like in her former daily life was likely like a simp for Linda. Listen, Linda, for Mission.
how does that, because I'm curious now, years after the fact, but also this person looks like a friend, how does that make you feel seeing them like looking like this? Does that bring up any of those old feelings?
Yes, and I think in this moment, this is a moment when Mara realizes that she actually has a lot of power. Yes, Mission may be powerful in politics and in number as far as people she knows, like, resources. But like Mara is like, when she says that, she's like hyping herself up in her head. And she's like, you can touch people and they turn to fucking gold dust. Like, she's like, stop. She's like, don't make the same mistakes of the past. And she is absolutely remembering when Linda was awful to her, would ostracize her, make false promises to her, because Eden was very much in love with Linda.
I'm going to say that this also is probably what led to Linda not coming back into playing the game in college, is something clearly happened a few sessions in or as time went on. And it's just like, nope, I can't be near Eden whatsoever. Just got to get my space. And that was one of those ramifications. They just
It was when
split
I
off.
told her that she had to choose between me or her boyfriend.
I'm going to go with, yeah, I agree. Yeah. And it was actually, you know what, to play into that day too, because I brought, this was many sessions ago, so don't worry if you don't remember, but we also had that story of when it was just the session with you and Camille, where I gave the backstory of the pocket watch being how the pocket watch, how it originally got lost was you were at a soccer game, you did your ritual that you always do, you take the pocket watch out, give it a spin, it just wasn't in your bag, and then where did it find itself in? It found itself in Linda's bag, who Linda never checked the bag after that meet, and it just stayed unchecked for years until one day she checks the bag, pulls it out, has this faint memory about you that just makes her go, no, it's not worth getting in touch, and just throws it up on her dresser and never ever thinks to contact you about it ever again. Because to her, she just got so fed up with that ritual probably after you two had a fight. It was just like, I don't want to help you look for it, period. There's no reason. Just
Like
doing
when
that.
you break up with somebody and you try to stay friends with them and everything that they do annoys you for a while.
Yes.
Yep, 100% that.
You're like, ugh.
So mission right now is stirring up all of those feelings in your head, because no matter what, this is a very heightened emotional moment, and that's just making it worse. And she purposely does not go towards you or even stand next to you. She just gives you this look like, let's calm down for a second. I'm not here to be hostile. I can help explain things. I just want to know what the hell is wrong with Alice. That's not her, as I remember. And that's when she probably looks at your face, because no matter what, your face is still stained at the moment from
Yeah.
having used the voice. And she kind of walks very slowly towards you and just doesn't touch you, but looks at your face. Oh, okay. Fuck. And then she just walks up to walks up to Alice and just kind of puts her hands on her shoulder. It's like, hey, you okay? It's like, I'm perfectly fine. Have you seen my new friend? Like, she's so, I will do anything she says. I'm just happy to submit to her.
Okay, well, it's not what I was going for. I just want that to be known. I'm still pissed at you, but obviously didn't.
Mission then just looks at Yang like, not to look at you towards as our voice of reason, but yeah, and just looks at Mara. It's like, I'm not sure I want to hear what she says at the moment. Is she being but I want to ask you, is she being truthful about that not being intentional, I guess, or is this completely confusing you as much as it is me?
She's telling the truth, which, in comparison, I think a lot of us should be doing more of now.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I think I have a way to fix this, but I need your friend here, your friend Camille, Lady Death. I need her to do something that she's going to hate.
What a
kind of need her
sales
to ask-
pitch.
I know.
You call your friend and do something she's gonna
Well,
fucking
no,
hate.
she says that while also putting her hand at her stomach, where, as I mentioned last session for Camille, she has burn marks on her stomach as a reminder from her god of fire that, hey, you owe me. Don't forget that. So she puts her hand there like, I think I need her to ask her god a favor, and it's not going to be an easy thing, because I think she's the only one that can fix whatever happened.
Okay, well, that's like a nice, sweet sidebar, and we will take care of that when the time comes. But right now, I have questions, and so does my friend Yang here.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm going to switch to another person.
Oh.
Ava. I'll
Hi.
be back, don't worry. Ava, you are at the mechanic shop. You're, as you said, if I remember correctly, you made a cup of coffee. Gideon said that
Espresso
awful line,
martini.
just being like, yeah, espresso martini. Oh my god. Honestly, that's my favorite drink. Oh my god, I
hate
love a good
martinis,
espresso
but you
martini.
throw coffee in it? I'm there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, likewise. You throw coffee in that thing, that is the best drink ever made in the world. Just let me be happy. You make that exact drink, because I'm not going to question that. That's a great choice. And you go off to where Gadget is, and Gideon just gives you this look of like, what? Why are you going to check on her? Like, she'll be fine. I mean, she's got to fix her mistake anyways.
Oh,
Okay. I can still be there, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably got this trait of hating her from me. So sorry. It's much more complex than that. I don't really hate her, just kind of annoyed by her. But honestly, she seems like a pretty decent person. If you want to like recalibrate that in your little head I accidentally made.
He rolls his eyes and just finds a work table to go work on something. Pluto, funny enough, doesn't follow him. The cat jumps to the floor, looks up at you, and does the most adorable thing of like pawing at your leg. It's like it wants to come along.
Sure, just don't tattle to your owner or those weird cyber people. And I just put them like around my shoulder and just like sit.
Now this is and this is where it gets weird. It feels like the cat doesn't weigh a thing on your shoulders.
Ooh.
And when you
It's
do
not
that,
like
it does
it
the
never
same thing the
should.
Chocobo did with Mara, which is just the cat just slightly brushes its head up against yours. And Edie picks up on the cat because then a notification goes up saying Pluto, and it says underneath gift from the fair.
I'm not giving you back. You're gonna have to run away if you want to leave. I whisper to the Pluto. And yeah, I walk over, pick up the pocket watch.
That Edie has as a notification pop up. It says Pluto, just a smiley face.
Oh, Edie likes you. Or wait, or is Pluto? Wait, was that you?
The cat just gives you this subtle nod.
I can talk to cats now. No, this is not cool. This is not cool. We don't like it. We don't like it. This is not cool. This is not real. We don't like this. Okay. And like gathers herself up. Well, like grab the pocket watch on the floor and one last little eye roll in the direction of where Gideon went and go find Gadget.
As you walk off, again, you're on the top floor of this area, and you can just see all around you when you go off, like start walking off to try and find Gadget. It's just this perfect area to just both look up at the sky if you want to, or take in the beautiful mountainous range around you. Eventually, you just follow where Edie's honing in because Edie's picked up on like, you know what you're looking for. She's picked up exactly where their position is, and you're just kind of you're both following where they've honed in on, but also Edie's actually picked up on every footstep Gadget has taken and where they walked to. And you can see the actual footstep on the ground as you're following. So my way of looking at it, if you want to
like
be cheeky,
Aloy.
is Aloy, or I was going to say it's Witcher Vision in The Witcher 3.
I love it.
Just minus the weird fisheye thing, because that always hurt my eyes and I had to turn that off in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that. But anyways, it's surprising because you didn't peg this as a thing you could actually walk on. I find yourself going towards the front of the city, and you find that there is this long stretch of a walkway that you can walk all the way out to that maybe used to be a guard station, but it also just looks like this gorgeous embellishment as like a welcome center for the city. And you just see her both on the floor, curled up like I was in our second session, or third session, technically, when you talked to me when I was having a very bad moment. Her legs are bunched up to her chest, and she's just not even looking out. She's just fully like her head is in her lap, and you can just hear every goddamn tear coming out of her eye.
Yeah, I just like plop down next to her. Like, don't even really look at her. Don't move to like touch or anything. Like to her, we're strangers. But just like plop down. I'm like, is that the first time you've ever been yelled at?
And she doesn't stop, but her head immediately kind of snaps up and then looks at you. And she kind of just sits there for a few seconds, not sure what to say. It's like, I'm just like, I'm just trying to clear the face up, like, don't look at me, I'm crying. You're that, that doesn't happen often. Usually we're very on point with how we do things, and if something's very wrong, that is an extremely bad thing. But also, I rarely ever hear her yell like that.
Yeah, it seems odd if you have a track record of doing good work for her to blow up like that? Any particular
mean,
reasons, stressors?
It's her fault. She wanted a rush job because she gave a watch away to someone. Like, you can't
Seems
expect
weird
us to
she'd
make
throw that on you.
modifications like that. Like, just no, that's not how that works. We need time to do our work. We weren't expecting to have to do a rush job.
And did you tell her that?
No, because the last thing you want to tell the person who runs this city is, no, we can't do it. The thing you have to say is, yes, we're on it, and you make it happen. And if it doesn't work, then that's when you find out. And that's not great. This is where, when she finishes that, she looks at your arm, probably sees, I don't know if it's covered up, so I leave this to you. Is the arcade slot covered up?
Yeah, because she's got a pretty tall necked like shirt.
In that case, she sees your hand that has the gun arm, but also the teleportation device. She's like, "You're that you bumped into me earlier today, accidentally, I think. I don't know how you teleported, but like, yeah. Like, do you have a watch?"
Kind of. just shakes her wrist that has the little teleportation thing. I guess I'm chosen by
you're
the
like-
gods. Super sarcastic
you're-
when she says it. Super fucking sarcastic.
Oh, you're like Gideon then, right?
Yeah,
You
more like
have-
he's like me, but yeah.
I can't stand him.
I'm starting to get that way too, which is really wild and very. I think I need to think introspectively about that and what that means about how I like myself. I know the answer to that, but I'm not ready to deal with it.
Yeah, he's a very arrogant asshole. He's very pompous.
Yeah. 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 God, I hate hearing those words.
And like,
out
I've
of your
asked
voice
nothing
in
but the
particular.
nicest of questions about like, how does his arm work? Where did he get it from? And he just won't even open up about that.
Oh.
Just loves to lord it over us for no reason other than he can.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is going as well as I thought it would. But
Oh,
in
no,
a whole different
and that's when she
direction.
looks at you like, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to upset you. I'm just,
No,
I haven't had it. I
no.
honestly don't get a chance to talk to anyone because everyone assumes when they look at me that I'm just impossible to talk to, or I'm just too focused on my work. I mean, honestly, all I want more than anything is to just talk. I rarely get to talk to someone. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to upset you if that's what you think. I'm
No,
trying
no,
to, this is
no,
nice. I need this.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think too, like while this conversation's kind of happening, if I could have maybe like nab some like little like a sleeve of like a little toolbox or something off of Gideon's area when we walked out and kind of
Oh,
pocketed
100%.
it. And so I think like this whole time too, like now especially she's looking at me, I've been kind of like futzing with the pocket watch. I don't know how much if
Ooh.
Edie can help me and seeing maybe how some things need to like go together, maybe do like a little scan of the pieces, like make it a little blueprint in my mind, and kind of just be futzing with it while we're talking.
You're gonna hate me right now. Roll intelligence plus your D10.
Okay.
And the D10 just acts like a D6 in terms of let me know what the number is and I'll let you know.
Yeah. Let me make sure. Pretty sure. Yeah. That's a good roll for me. That's a good roll. That on the D6s, there are 2 5s and a 4. And then on my D10, it is a 10.
Oh, wow.
I don't
Yeah,
remember if
you and
evens or odds are
Edie,
good, but I did get a 10.
Edie somehow knows exactly what you need to do, but also you just naturally seem to know what to do. You don't need any direction. And you're just working on it. I'll leave it at that. I'll add more.
Yeah. I'm just kind of messing with it. And I'm just like, yeah, sorry
For
about
you, I want to also ask, with
Mhm.
Gadget obviously looking like Luna,
Mhm.
because I remember that one word name, just Luna.
Yep.
Do you think there was ever a moment where you first met them that they came across as genuine to you?
I think that's the thing, is they are genuine. I'm just a petty asshole who thinks there has to be something else going on under there, is what it probably all comes down to, is jealousy and gotta inflate myself because no one else is, and why not throw my ire at my closest competition, you know? Mikey's not a good person.
I didn't mean to interrupt you when you were going to say something, so by all means.
Oh no, that was just the caveat. Mikey's not a good person, so
Yeah.
Luna's probably not at all at fault.
Gadget kind of just looks at your arm like, I'm so sorry to ask this, and I know you're probably going to say no, but do you mind if I look at that? I've never seen that before, and trust me, I'm not going to be some weirdo who's like, I want to nitpick and start tweaking things. Like, no, I just want to look.
Yeah, sure. Just with the one hand is still like messing with the watch, and then kind of just puts the cyber arm in front of her. Just like,
Pluto actually gets off your shoulder and immediately climbs up to the top of where her kneecaps are bunched up to her, and just kind of just does this adorableness of like a cat being like this, Taylor, where it's just like paws out front, just staring like, hi, notice me, I'm here to help you. Just like,
oh,
Pluto, just don't feed any of this back to Gideon. I know you're not, because you're a lot nicer than that. And you like to go against what your owner says a lot, and I know that.
that's good to know. I was a little concerned.
Yeah, I'm always concerned, but also I think the cat's at least autonomous on its own. It does what it wants.
I think so.
And this is when she looks at your arm. It's like, does this, not to, again, sorry, just fascinated, but does this hurt at all?
I mean, initially, absolutely worst pain I've ever felt in my life, but it only lasted like 2 seconds.
Wild. Absolutely wild. And then she wipes her eyes again. She stopped crying. She finally picks the cat. She picks up Pluto and then holds the cat like a normal person would, so it's not trying to sit awkwardly on her.
Yeah.
It's like, I should really get to work on that watch. I know she's gonna want that immediately. And that's when she looks down at your hands and sees that you're working on it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh damn, like you're actually, have you worked on this before?
Yes. Definitely.
So many questions, but also like, and then because I'm going to switch scenes in a second, you and her just spend a few more minutes there, and she's not even giving you directions. She's just kind of standing there, very impressed, and is telling you every now and then, like, yeah, exactly that, good job, excellent. And then Edie cheekily off the corner of your UI vision just pops up, Gadget, nice person.
Aww.
I like just roll my eyes.
But also in parentheses, for now.
Yeah, I just like roll my eyes, realizing I'm having a fucking growing moment or whatever. And I think like, probably there's not too terribly much like, she would probably press a little bit. I don't know how much information she would even have on like,
yeah, you can ask that stuff. I don't want to
missions.
take that away from you if you want to ask.
Yeah, like just like book note or cliff notes is like, just like, how long have you like worked for mission, like blah blah, trying to get kind of some more like ideas on that working relationship and why all of a sudden there is this like, oh fuck, and is it just because this other one's missing kind of vibe, just while like tinkering.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to take that away from you. Sorry, I didn't even think about that.
No,
yeah,
no,
she looks at you as like, yeah, I mean, she like Mission did, as well as for Camille and Mara were there, as the librarian did. They all look up at the sky. They would look up at the sky and be like, well, I know Mission's been around before all this happened. And she looks at you very, like, gives you that kind of look someone would give you, is like, can I trust you enough to tell you this? And she's just looking at what you're doing with the watch like, okay, I think I can trust you enough if you know what you're doing. I'm not going to take, like, try to hide it. Mission is obviously our lord, our leader. She's not the only leader we have in the city. She co-leads.
Really? She seems to be the face of everything.
Yeah, because not many She leans into you, like hilariously, like whispers in your ear, like, please do not tell anyone that you know this. This is very private, but also you just honestly, you're the first person in a very long while who's actually come out here to comfort me in a very bad situation. So I just want to say thank you in this way. But also, I feel like you're going to find out eventually after helping us with the fort and whatnot off in the distance. She and her friend have been co-leading since, and she just looks up at the sky since that happened. And whoever her friend is, who I've only seen glimpses of every now and then, they do not publicly, no one knows about it. That is a personal secret that they will take with them till the day they probably die.
Interesting. Well, the mysteries of this town just keep showing itself, huh?
Especially with that one, because they're strange. Very strange and unusual.
Hmm.
And I'm going to switch to Camille. Camille, you said screw the tavern, heard my husband's voice, not going there, but I'm clocking it for
No,
now.
thanks.
That's what I remembered.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that away from you. It's tempting. Not taking it away. You go off in the distance. You go towards the living quarters. Funny enough, it's the same dwarven woman from last night because it's much later in the day now. It's like, hi. Oh, wait, you have a room. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Room's fine. We did a little bit cleaning just to make sure, just keep it nice and fresh. No dust. Everything's good. We also brought up, if you need any, we also brought some fruit up. If you need any sort of caffeine, whether it's, and she specifically says coffee or tea, go right ahead. Hot water's up there for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And this goes back to reading a book. Again, beautiful, short dwarven woman with a gorgeous full beard.
Oh, I love it.
Yep. Thank you, Taylor, for that detail, because I will never forget it, because you came up with that. You go up the steps. I can't... This is where I'm blanking. I think it was room 250 Red stated, and you and Mara stated 251, but my brain is not remembering that, so it's one of those rooms. But you go up to the door, and yeah.
Knock first, and then just open it. Don't wait for...
Yeah, and you, no matter what, I'm not going to take this away from you, because that'd be cruel. Once you open it up, that red outline of red immediately starts fading, and you just see red, or you see me. It's a better way to put it. I'm just sitting down with a cup of tea, having something to nibble on.
Red.
And I just see you walk. Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Mission brought me back. I haven't gone anywhere. I've just stayed here. I promise.
Okay.
I'm not gonna leave your guys. Yeah.
No, that's all right. Are you feeling a bit better?
No. No.
Given the circumstances, I can't exactly blame you, but
I mean,
Yeah.
thinking all of your friends hate you. Yeah.
I don't think it's that. I think we're just all quite stressed, very confused, and well, we've been told that we have the potential to die. We all have to make the decision to go back, or else we'll be stuck here forever. It's it's been a lot to take in.
Yeah, that's consequences. They're just everywhere, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. Just like real life, huh?
Which I feel like none of us would love nothing more than to just not be held down by real life.
Yeah, I'm sort of in combat with myself about that at the moment. I keep seeing people and hearing voices that I think I recognize around every turn, but it's evidently the same for you too.
This is where she kind of, maybe in a weird way, looks at you longer than you expect. She kind of just looks at your hands, looks at your face, like, are you okay? You look, not to be rude, you're a lot paler than I remember.
Uh-huh. No, it's okay. Mara said the same thing earlier today. I think it's something to do with the powers that I have in this world, the God that I can communicate with. I owe them a debt because I helped out back there at the attack, and well, I guess it shows itself physically on me. Mission had something similar.
She did?
She can commune with a different god, the god of fire, I think, and burn
Your
marks
father?
as opposed to yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you be up to coming with me? There's somebody down in the town who seems to know of you and might be able to help us explain some of this, get to the bottom of it. Maybe.
Can I finish my tea first?
As long as I can have one too.
I mean, there's already hot water. I mean, just pick whichever one you want. And you just see, look at the table. Whatever your favorite teas are,
Oh,
it's like pretty much like not just you too. It's like from myself as well. It's like, yeah, I was kind of just like amazed, but these are also a bunch of stuff that I personally have at my home anyways.
huh. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, really weird.
I stopped buying these, but I used to have them when we were at college quite a bit. I'll just grab like a French Earl Grey, put it in, make it up myself.
I grab one because I just want to be cheeky because in real life, my sibling actually has this. It's like, yeah, this is weird because this is not mass produced, but this is like tea from like the jubilation celebration for the Queen years ago.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, why is that here? Like, that just makes no sense. But also, this tea was delicious, cost an arm and a leg. But also, this world is so. This is one of those moments where I just break and actually finally crack a laugh sitting next to you. And then I also look at you again for a couple seconds, like, Camille, I'm really sorry I didn't say I trust you. I actually trust you a lot. I'm just sorry. I didn't mean to say that. It's just I don't handle stress very well. And at the same time, I should not have said that. And I'm very sorry.
It's okay. We all handle stress differently. And this is the most stressful situation I've ever been in my life. So,
Yeah.
it's okay. I understand.
I will say, and I look at the fruit on the table. It's like, just be mindful of one thing, because I don't know where this came from, and I just point it out. And in the middle center, where all the fruit is, there's this perfectly placed pomegranate. It's
Yeah,
like, your
that'd
God
be.
is really, really pushing the fruit thing, and I don't trust it.
No, I'm kind of just waiting on the edge of my seat for her to pop in and tell me what I have to do to get rid of this. Any moment now, I expect.
And almost like wish fulfillment,
Mm.
you hear Proserpina in the back of your mind. It's like, funny you should say that. I know
Mhm.
exactly what you can do to relieve that debt of yours.
Yeah.
You should bring your friend to the tower with you.
Okay. I will. Yeah, that's the
I
plan.
look forward. And maybe for the first time for Camille, all the hairs on the back of your neck stand up because she starts laughing in a very disturbing way and then fades out of your mind. And I just look at you like, are you okay?
Yep. I'm fine. Nothing to worry about.
Okay, let's here, and I grab your mug. I grab your tea mug, which whatever kind of mug you want it to be, it looks like that. I'm not going to take that away from you because I think that's fun. So if you're like,
Shaped
actually,
like a
no, what?
cat.
Wrong. What does your mug look like? Because does it look like something from Polly's real life?
Yeah, it's the mug that she has in the office. It's shaped like a cat. Like the handle is the cat's tail. It's got a little like head sort of spouty thing on one side, and it's just the body of like a ginger cat is the mug itself.
Mine is shaped like a Halloween pumpkin.
Aw.
And I'm just like, haha, cat pumpkin, Halloween vibes. Clink.
Is.
Let's bring these with us. Maybe they'll help keep this. Well, mostly they'll keep me calm, but yeah, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Let's go do that.
Keep my hands busy at least. And I'll be.
Yeah, are your hands freezing? You're not.
I mean, everybody says they are. I don't feel it. It's strange. I almost feel I almost numb here. But
I slowly kind of take my hand off one of the mug as I have both hands wrapped around it, and I just slightly put my hand on top of yours, and then I immediately take it off. It's like, okay, that was really cold. That's weird. Jesus.
right. Well,
Um,
I guess I don't know. It's strange. I feel normal, but
I mean, as long as you feel well, I guess everything's okay.
yeah. No, I'm physically fine. Emotionally, well, leaves a lot to be desired, but it is what it is.
As you and I walk out, before I switch the scene again, because there's so many different things to point, we both get down the stairwell. We walk back. We walk past the front desk person, who again just notices us. Again, most beautiful, beautiful beard on a tiny dwarf possible. They look magnificent. They got jewelry everywhere. They are blinged out. Is probably the best way to put it. They just look great. They look stunning. They're a gorgeous young person. And they just see both of you walk down, give you a slight head nod, go back to reading this book. It is not a small book because I just love the visual of giant tome of a book that's clearly more than 1,000 pages, and they maybe are only 1/6 of the way in, and it just immediately looks like they've made no dent in this book whatsoever.
Oh no, chapter 1 of War and Peace. We've all been there.
Not sure about that book, but yeah, this one's just, God, is it slow, but also I don't want to stop reading because at least help pass the time.
That's true.
As you walk out of this open archway that leads back into where the marketplace and the tavern area is, 4 people walk past you. All of them, clear as day, are adventurers. And one of them is immediately where you do your best to keep walking forward because one of them is exactly your husband in real life. And if you do you look?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
They are not at all how you described them. They are like someone had flipped a light switch and made a completely better version of them. More stoic, heroic.
Yep.
They have, because I just want to have someone have this because God damn, I have to do this. They have a massive great sword on their back that you're not sure how is it standing there. It makes no sense. Like any good fantasy game, how do weapons just hang there without being hoisted on anything? It just makes no sense.
Magical
And
magnets.
yeah, as I have cosplay friends who would actually say yes on that because that's how they do that. They buy giant magnets. For this, it's like the best version of them that you wish they were in every way, shape, and form. And maybe for the splittest of seconds, they lock eyes with you, give you a very slight smile and a nod, and they walk forward with their group, who are a wide assortment of, as I mentioned, catfolk. There is a tiny dwarf person who, again, you don't see this person's face, which is interesting because the person at the front desk, you can see their face. So you're not sure if that's just an interesting cultural thing or not. And one of the people with them would be taller than Mara because they are like almost Goliath size. They're almost like 7 to 7.5 feet tall. And they are carrying probably the biggest great axe you've ever seen in your life because it literally is as tall as your husband.
Huh.
And they're all just seems like they're walking off, and you can hear the person at the front desk be like, "Oh yeah, get plenty of rest, guys. I heard about what you did today. Good job." They're like, "Yeah, we're sleeping for the next 12 to 15 hours." They all just loudly as heck go up the stairs. Mara and Yang. Mission just as mentioned, it's like where if you can I will answer everything you want, but like I need to know what's wrong with her. Like what happened? Like I'm assuming it's something and she just looks at you, Mara, something you did. Because no offense, your face says a lot right now.
Well, it wasn't like I was trained to hide it, but it was accidental, and I've already told you that. So I can't fix it.
Well, hopefully your friend can if they are on their way here. We'll find out.
My friend will fix it if I get the answers that I'm looking for. And that's a big if.
What are your answers? What are your questions? Not what are your answers? What are your questions? Sorry, I'm flustered because this is not what I expected right now.
Well, if Mara looks at Yang like, you got questions?
Yeah. Why have you been lying to us from the beginning?
Yeah.
In regards, this is where she actually rebuttals back saying, I'm not trying to be cheeky. Can you be more specific?
Okay. Yeah. She looks at Yang again, she's like, yeah, we can.
Because there's quite a few things that aren't probably being said, and I would rather know which way do you want to start this conversation off.
So, one thing that I would like to know is when you came in here, you tried to pretend that you didn't know her. Why? What's the problem here?
Alice kicks in. It's like, oh, I know why. And Mission's just like, no, shh. Shh. I will say it with my own words. Stop it. Just stop. It's that equivalent of if a friend of yours, because we've all been there, a friend of yours has had too much to drink and they're just like, I'm just ready to be the best, most talkative person. I will totally oust myself. That's me. Like you need to have that one person be like, no, shh, let me talk. I'm going to speak. I'll be the adult in the room. It's like, I've known Alice since before the sky looked like it does now. They were I've known them I don't know how to explain this because she's going to have to explain it better than me. And there's just Alice just looks at all. He's like, "Oh, I have a way of doing it. Words are just trust me. I have a way of doing this. Words don't have to say anything. Just let me do this." She's like, "Please, you know what happened the last time you did this?" Like, "Oh, I know. That was fine. That was great." It's like, "No, you completely hurt yourself because you fell down and hurt your leg, and that was your stupid fucking dies problem." It's like, "Don't worry about it. I got this." And she shakily, which is weird because she seems so enamored with Mara, but she gets shaky for half a second with her hands fluttering and then stops it. And then she brings her hand up towards the sky and just snaps her fingers. And in the process of snapping her fingers, her entire outfit has completely changed. And she's no longer wearing that black one-for-one outfit like Red is. Her hair is not black. Her hair is back to the sunflower. Her entire outfit, because I got very fashion nerdy, so I apologize. And the four of you are going to get a very specific photo that will explain this after I talk about it.
Let's go.
In place of the outfit she was wearing, there is, and some of these words might not make sense to you, I apologize. There's an illusion collared bodice with glass beaded buttons. There's a sheer blouson tully sleeves. A corset construction bodice is over that. The back shows an enclosed sheer back with buttons and a zipper closure. She has a short T-length A-line skirt, and ostensibly it's a light blue T-length dress with an A-line tully skirt. Stitched all throughout the attire is floral embroidered lace and applique. On her feet, are white heels that fit over stockings that climb up her legs that depict scenery and elements from Alice in Wonderland. On her hands, she wears white gloves. She does not look like the menacing person that she was. She looks radiant. She looks stoic. Not at all the person you met. On her left side is a holster holding a gun of sorts. And as she brings her right hand down, she is holding onto the most ornate rapier you have ever seen. You've never seen a sword that looks like this. And she doesn't point it at you. She just gives it a very performative flourish before it's draped on her right side. And for the two of you, because this is one of those weird, like, did someone just have a magical girl transformation?
Yeah.
You hone in on something that just catches you so off guard. And it's the moment that you kind of have this dawning realization. Dangling off her right ear is an earring that also is the most ordinary, plain, uninteresting, not special in any way, shape, or form D6 you've ever seen in your life. And you can't tell if it's the light in the room hitting or not, but it feels like there's ever so faint a shine on it or glow, but also you can't tell. And Mission just looks at her like, well, that seeing is kind of believing, I guess. That makes more sense than me trying to describe what the hell she is. And Alice just walks up to you, Mara, very much under submission, like, my name is Alice. Looks at Mission. I was here with Mission 100 years ago. I was a warrior of light. But also, it's kind of due to me that this world got plunged into chaos. And she just points at the D6 on her ear. Yeah, I kind of, somehow in our victory of defeating a great evil, I also caused all this, but also, she holds up the D20. I also kind of became the master of this realm.
Oh. How? And as Mara says, she looks at Mission, like, how is that possible?
She looks at you and yeah, he's like, here's the thing. I still don't understand what this whole talisman thing is. And she's talking about the dice. But yeah, I was there with her. We were all there at the end. It was me. It was Alice. It was Mikey, Eden, Kevin, Polly. We fought off this horrible evil that was threatening to destroy this world. And Alice went in for the killing blow, and something happened that completely, somehow I survived, as did Alice, and then the other four were nowhere to be seen after that attack happened. And Alice just looks at you as like, I think it's to do with this, because my luck, she just points at your forehead, looks at Yang with all the D8 symbols, like, we all have things that these associate with, and mine is just, I'm stupidly lucky. And I guess my luck ran out at the worst moment. That's why she takes a step forward, and the minute she steps forward, you probably laugh out loud. She completely trips and kind of falls to the floor. It's like, that's why, and Mission's like, oh God, it happened again. It's like, that's why if I'm not being foolhardy, my die does not work, and it makes every bad thing happen for me.
Oh, God. Well, Murphy, every day. That would not be fun. Okay.
But yeah, I think, and she now, it doesn't seem like submission is fully there, but it's still there. But she's looking at you like, I think, and I don't think Mission would believe this, but for you two, she just points at the D4 on your forehead. It's like, I'm pretty certain I was supposed to be part of your group, but I also can't confirm that. But I know I got here way too early, apparently. Because the people I met with and fought with and got to know as very good friends who looked a hell of a lot like people I went to school with, theirs didn't glow. And I thought it was just a weird thing that maybe mine was just like theirs, just ordinary, but theirs didn't glow and yours is. So I'm not sure what that means, but
Hmm. Okay. 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 So you were there. Do uh do we look familiar to you?
I. She takes a good long look at you, and probably it's because the fact that one, you're giant, you are very tall, you have blue hair and blue lips, and gold on your skin and your
I
fingers.
know, right? I literally look like a walking Xerxes, but less scary. It's fine.
However, Yang, do you think you more or less look like Kevin?
Yeah.
Alice walks up to you, Mara. It's like, you don't look familiar to me. I love your hair again. You're just
Thank
great.
you.
She says you're great and just does the most stupidest, like just boops your nose.
The
Like,
little
you're
boop.
so great. Yeah.
She's like all
But
the
then
way.
she looks at Yang and it's like a good 10 seconds. It's like, you look so much like Kevin.
Okay. Well,
Like different outfit, but you look so much like him.
Okay. All right.
Again, memory's a weird thing here. I've been here clearly much longer than I was supposed to.
so yeah. How did you stay?
It wouldn't let me leave because apparently, and she's looking at your forehead again. It's like, the group I was with was clearly not the group that was supposed to become, like, could leave together. That's not who apparently I was supposed to be with. I mean, if you want, like, she grabs your hand again. It's like, look, and you know what? She grabs your hand, brings it up to her chest. It's like, look, if just follow me for a second, maybe you can help out.
Well, no,
And
you know what? Just
no, I'm not leaving this room. I just want to take you. And she points where all the books are. It's like, a lot of that is written like what I've experienced. Like, they're more journals than books. Like, I had to find a way to write shit down because memory can be faulty after a while.
Great. So I take my hand back and then I start like waving like a mad person.
And Mission's like, are you okay?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Like,
You know what? Because you're doing that, I'm going to say this happens. Ava, you're not even in the same room, and Edie picks up like distress signal. Mara.
Yeah, I think I just gotta like look in that general direction, see the outline, like little tiny in the
Yeah,
distance.
100%.
Okay, that looks put on, at least not super legit. Anyway, looks off and says that out loud, looks back at Gadget, and is like, can I hold on to this for a bit? Can you just tell Mission you're still like working on a replacement? If it like comes down and she's like a bitch about it, like I'll come help. But
Actually, and she looks down at it, and you probably stopped like fiddling with it. Just like, may I for a second?
yeah, sure.
She takes a good minute inspecting it, the ins and outs, opens it up, closes it. I'm going to say it was just the watch. It didn't have a chain on it or anything. She reaches into the pocket of her apron and pulls out whatever your favorite color of jewelry is, silver, gold, whatever you decide, it's that exact color. And she attaches it to the watch, looks at you. Actually, I don't have anything left to do. You fixed it.
Yeah. Just
Like,
don't let her know you finished.
that was just impressive to watch. I didn't want to say anything because it seemed like you knew what you were doing. But no, this should be good. Just give it to her.
I definitely will.
Honestly, tell her that you worked on it. Tell her I didn't. maybe that'll. This is mean, but maybe that'll kind of hurt her a bit because she doesn't really yell like that at anyone. So whatever it was must have been important.
Oh, I'm very good at making people feel bad about their decisions. Don't you worry. I just like kind of stand up, take it back, and give like a little like friendly squeeze on the hand as I like grab it, and start to prepare myself to teleport, and then I'll just kind of stop for a second, like look back over at her, and I'm just like, this probably doesn't really mean anything to you because you don't know who the hell I am or we have any sort of history here. But I'm sorry they treat you like that. You don't deserve it. Any of it. You're clearly much better than people think you are.
Thank you. I'm just hoping I make my parents proud. They're the ones who led this shop for years. It was never intended to be the one to run it, but life here is kind of, it moves quickly.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, you should fire Gideon. Give her like a little wink.
As you go away, she's probably like, I want to, but Pluto. And she just starts petting the cat.
Love it. Yeah.
You teleport into that room. Because technically you have don't you have 3 pieces of fair gold? No, you have 2. This is always a weird sentence. You have 2. I can't say that sentence without cracking up.
Two in my boobs.
You have 2 pieces that are in use. There we go. And then you have one that you have not used yet.
Right?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it that way because if I don't, it's just going to get weird, and it's already weird.
Yeah, and it says you can my general blink teleporter. I have the trait of you can teleport anywhere you can see. So maybe makes a few steps to get there, or if we want to attempt to push it, teleport to a place I remember seeing.
That's what I was going to say. Is you're technically you can overcharge if you want to push it.
Mm-hmm.
You just all you would do is you would not roll anything but your D10, and we'll see what happens.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, okay.
Again, it's odds. If it's odds, everything goes according to plan. If it's evens, something happens.
Great.
It's a 6. I already immediately forgot
evens,
when you said
happened.
odds or evens.
Bad happens.
Evens
time.
means something happens. You don't get in the room, and I'm not going to say you. That would be mean to be like, oh yeah, you've teleported into the wall, then you're stuck. That's cool.
Shit.
Oh,
No,
no.
you look at where Mara is, you're like, okay, I can do this probably in your head mentally. I got this. I can go right in the room. It doesn't put you in the room. You end up right outside the front gates of the front door of that tower. And the guard looks immediately at you like, where did you never mind. Do you have a reason to go inside or
Yeah. List the people in there. Supposed to be meeting them. I have
just open the door for them. They're probably 2nd floor. Go up there.
I just whisper in my ear. They're so bad at their job as I just walk up.
For Camille, we'll get back to you. I'm going to just say for now, you and Red are on your way. And Red is probably still apologizing to you because I feel bad about what I said. And it's one of those apologies where you're like, okay, at this point, it's just fucking annoying. Shut up.
It's fine. I understand. We can move on.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can move on.
Ava, you get there Ava, you get there. You open the door and you see the exact description I described of Alice. They're no longer dressed in black. They are holding Mara's hand up to their chest. They are wearing this, and I forgot, I was going to put this in our chat. They are wearing a pale light blue dress that has applique and embroiderments everywhere. They have this ridiculously gorgeous rapier. And then for you specifically, because I kind of did this for your sake, she also has a gun holstered on her, her side.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know what it looks like, but also now you know there's someone else in this world who also has an armament. Yep. And then Yang, you probably just see her walk in, and it's just the comedic back and forth of okay,
I have also fully stashed the pocket watch out of view. It's shoved down into a pocket in my bag, not noticeable.
Hey.
I'm just like,
Reinforcements.
Yeah, let me catch you up to speed real fucking fast. So, Mission, Alice,
yep.
Mask.
Mm-hmm.
They know each other.
And they rule this place together.
And like I shoot this stare at Mission that is just so damning. Like
I didn't say anything. How do you know that? That's
There's
classified
like
secrets.
700 people in this town. You don't think one of them is dumb enough to have loose lips? A couple of them.
And that's when she does that thing of like someone looking up trying to think about it.
nope, don't do that.
Who would do? No, what? I'm not going to ask. It's
The
none of
guy
my
with the
business.
arm points to her own arm.
Yeah,
Fucking
throw him
Gideon.
under the bus.
Yeah, fuck you, Gideon.
For Ava's sake, Edie does a zoom. I'm going to say your AI system can do this. Edie zooms in on the earring, and you clear as day see that D6.
And it's glowy still, or like dull.
It's not glowing. It's just, it feels like every time the light hits it, it does. But when you look, when Edie hones in on it, it's not glowing. It's just ordinary. It's plain. It's the most uninteresting dice you've ever seen in your life. It's how the book describes it, guys. The D6 is the most dull looking die of the entire bunch. And I'm going to say it's not a big D6. It's like those tiny ass D6s you can get in some board games. It's like the
Oh,
tiniest of
yeah.
D6s. It doesn't even have numbers on it. It's just dots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Monopoly dice.
Yeah,
One of these
but
little
smaller.
guys.
Yeah, it's literally that. It's just, it's
Oh my
so
God.
just like, it's just, it is what it is. It's like every other
like-
die in the world.
So much smaller than my normal die.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So it's their fault? I just looked to Mara, like ignoring that they exist and kind of having the conversation with y'all.
hey, so I'm not sure. So there was a whole story about how who and Mara says this and she looks at Alice. Who were the people that you were with in the final fight?
Well, it was, as I mentioned, it was me, Mission, Kevin, Polly, Eden, Mikey.
Yeah. So
And
crazy.
for the three of you, because I want to make sure this is pointedly known, the three of you would then have this weird realization because you've had Mission tell you about the history of this world. Camille and Mara have had this told by a librarian. Obviously, Camille's not there yet, but you would all know the name you were given of the party that defeated a great evil was Kevin, Mikey, Polly. Eden, Mission was not included in the book, but she told you she was there. And the other name was someone named Aether,
Mm-hmm.
not Alice.
Mm-hmm.
And was Aether what we thought Black Mask, Tuxedo
No.
Mask was, or Aether's who we think Flash
Aether,
and Zoe?
It was Sky.
yeah, we think it is Red. Red's partner outside of the game.
Yeah.
Is what about the other one?
The other
But-
one?
Yeah, so there was a name. I read the name. I read it.
Mission puts her hands up to her head. Yeah. Looks at you, Ava, because the door's open. Probably still a little open. It's like, can you close that? I'll tell you, just close the door.
I do it so fast with my teleporter that it doesn't even look like I move, but I'm just like,
Yep, 100%. Actually,
Give me the info.
110%. I'm not taking that away. That was
I
amazing.
love it.
She looks at Alice. Alice just kind of gives this weird head nod of like approval. Like, we decided when that fight happened and that situation happened to her, we did not want that written as it was to the word. So, Aether is someone. However, Aether is also a cover Alice has been using because we feared if people actually learned what happened in that fight and how it, no offense, was her fault, she would not be standing here right now, despite the fact that for 100 years now, she's the one who's actually been leading behind the scenes and has been making sure this city can prosper. I'm more just a face. I didn't want to be a ruler.
Okay. That this is some real
As for
Wizard
Aether,
of the odds.
whatever. As
Yep.
for Aether, that thing you saw at the top of the tower,
Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm.
that is something that we have been trying to figure out what that is, because that is something that feels like probably manifested 100 years ago, but that doesn't look, the way you describe it doesn't look like anything we fought off 100 years ago. When she says that, Alice's face gets really sad looking, like almost depressed.
When I look at Alice in comparison to like everybody else, what is my HUD showing? You know, like I know that like my three parties are
Master, actually, this is where you're going to get a very, you know what? That's a great question. And I want to make sure this is as pronounced as possible. You get 2 titles.
all like, mm-hmm.
It says Alice, and then underneath it says the Fool, Realm Master.
So not anomaly.
No anomaly. You look off to like your vision, and you can see anomaly is moving towards the tower, though.
Cool.
I will say that final fight, because I try not to think about it, the evil we fought looked so much like a very good friend of mine, and it was a traumatic experience, and that's probably why my luck ran out.
I'll like describe what Zoe looked like that.
No, I know what you're talking about though, because I've also seen that. No, this looked like I wish I was able to draw very male face.
I'll describe Phoenix, like finish her sentences a bit.
Yeah, that's weird. Looks exactly like that.
And you fought with them.
I fought against them. They were the one causing all the problems.
They looked okay.
And I defeated them.
Yeah.
And then
they were causing the Fallen problems.
There was no Fallen before that point. This was something completely different, which is why and she looks at the 3 of you. It's like, I'm not sure what happened when you entered this world, but obviously you've probably seen them, but the Fallen only came into being after I defeated that thing that looked like my friend. It was a slow thing. It wasn't instantaneous, like the lights in the sky changed like that. It happened over weeks that the sky we started noticing was getting more and more brighter, and there was less nighttime. And then slowly but surely we kept getting more and more confirmations of those things that were coming out of nowhere. And then next thing we know, well, like you've read the book, we've probably had a history lesson. We only have like a 10th left of this planet. I don't know how to explain that. But whatever I did caused all this, and I've done everything I can to kind of repent for my sin. And in saying that, she just looks at you, Mara, because she's still very enamored with you, and just you can see tears ever so slightly falling down the face. It's like I've done everything I can over the past 100 years to try and fix things. And then Aether, as yes, that is the name. I've seen this female looking face that looks so much like a very good friend I used to have. It started slowly but surely popping up here and there, and I don't know why. It feels like some kind of bad omen.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say it. I am hoping Red's gonna be here real soon. I don't think I like where
pick
this
up an espresso martini out of nowhere. Just...
what the like? She's like,
this situation calls for a drink.
Obviously. And But hey, so you know how Yang looks like Yang? She's like trying to say it and she still can't.
That handsome old hero.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you really do actually. Also,
Yeah.
keyword on the handsome buddy. Like, good job.
Thank you. Phew.
Um,
Go ahead.
no, it's okay. I mean, unless someone stops me, I'm going to tell her that we're those people.
At this point, I'm like, let's try
so-
everything.
Yeah, I'm like anything to get because Mara's putting some pieces together right now in her head, or at least she thinks she is, and she's trying real hard to get to the bottom of this. And so she's like, so we're those people. I know the blue hair is probably really different, but
I have horns now.
I'm gonna do it this way. This is a moment where we're gonna end on, so I'm gonna describe a few things that happen. And to quote
Boy.
one of my favorite storytellers, multiple things happen at once. Which Beck, I'm sorry, you would get that. And probably the only one, but it's one of my favorite sentences to use. Multiple things happen at once. Alice takes a very long look at you and then looks at Ava. Yang, she's looking at you and is just like kind of in disbelief because it's just like, you look exactly like Kevin, which you are Kevin. And
Yeah.
that's when Mara, you probably don't like this, but she just walks up to you and you can tell every step is hesitant, as if someone is just kind of in disbelief, like, no, that can't be right. And then she does this weird thing where she's looking up at you because everyone looks up at you. And if you allow her, she kind of takes one hand, puts it on your face, takes another, puts it on the other side, and just looks in your eyes. And then just looks at Ava very quickly. And then just kind of like,
Give a
you
little
can
finger
tell
gun.
that she is literally about to fall to her knees because she's now realized like you're actually talking sense. But she tries to buckle a little bit, and maybe you catch her before she falls. But it's that weird moment of like someone you can tell is finally realizing like, oh, fuck me. What? Ava, because I want to be cheeky, Edie is always scanning. And one of the things that we've never talked about, and I apologize that I've not been forthright about this, I should have been more particular about this. One of the things Edie can do is if you detect technology nearby, Edie can fully scan it and hack it.
Ooh, hell yeah.
So two things happen. You notice Edie points off where the room full of books are. Edie's picking up, there's a computer terminal in there. But also she hones in on the holster on Alice's side, and you have this wonderful personal moment of probably laughing to yourself because it gives you a full 3D loadout of what the gun is. And I did this to be funny. It looks exactly like Jinx's gun from Arcane. Like the pistol. It's 100% that gun. It looks exactly like it. Edie even has the exact color palette of it picked out in your vision. And maybe you just have this weird moment of, really? You went with that? Like, that's not fantasy at all. What the fuck? And then where I'm going to end it, because I think this is a perfect moment to leave on a little bit of a cliffhanger for 2 weeks. Camille opens the door with Red, and that's where we're going to pick up.
God dang it! Red escapes us again! I'm so tired of this bitch.
I'm going to 100% say for now that you feels like you have confirmation that Alice is looking at you like you can't be that person and is now realizing, oh my god, you are exactly that person. Fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Red won't be able to escape
And I'll
anymore.
probably put the photo I have up of Alice in the HSC chat, but there's an image I've been saved on my computer for a long time because the passion was so good.
Nice.
But also, I wanted to go against what the book said the fool should look like. I felt like, no, they should be fancy.
Yeah.
Good job tonight, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm leaving you on another cliffhanger. You can hate me later. Let's go around the table and tell us who you are, who you played, where we can find you online, and what you got coming up next, starting with Beck.
Yes. Gosh, my voice. Hi everyone. I'm Beck. I've been playing Camille, the god binder, of the group. Bodginder. Yeah,
That's a completely
just had
different
a real
paragon.
dyslexia moment. That's something about me. Anyway, you can find me on the internet at Site Poltergeist, pretty much everywhere. Not much happening at the moment, but within the next sort of couple of weeks to a month, I'll be announcing some stuff that has been going on behind the scenes, and I should be sort of doing more stuff coming into the new year. So I'll be around. Thanks everyone for hanging out today.
Matt?
Hello. Improv and RPG everywhere. Thank you so much. This has been fantastic.
Holly?
I said it before, I'll say it again. OMG Holly D everywhere on the internet. I finally failed tonight as the dictator, and now
Not
I
expecting that to happen, but
I wasn't either. That was not planned on my end.
now I
Holy
have
fuck.
essentially a puppy, and it's fine.
Yeah, broken puppy.
Yeah, I feel awful because that was not the goal. But yes, that's it for me. I don't have anything coming up besides this. So every other Saturday you'll catch me here, because school is eating me alive.
I will let Taylor go last. So if we want to rate anyone, you have time to look it up. My name is Nate. I was our GM. I was Red, the master as well. I'm also going to say, because I feel like it at this moment, I'm also kind of Alice the Fool, which I will now properly say that because there is a freaking D6. And also, that's been on my mind for a while. You can find me at my website, natebushman.com. There's links to socials there. Go check it out. You can actually, funny enough, I'll be here tomorrow with Taylor for Moonlight on Roosevelt Beach, which I'm super goddamn excited to play that. What an amazing goddamn book. Like, if you've never read that or seen it, please just buy it. Like, it's the pretty, like, I'm not trying to vouch for the people who make it, but like, seriously, that is one of the prettiest layouts I've seen for a book. And also, I'm just really excited to get to explore some fun topics I personally don't get to explore in games that often. So it'll be a fun, different side of me that will be fun to explore. And outside of that, you'll find me here in 2 weeks for Die, and maybe there's something else happening in March that I'll talk about in March. I'll leave it at that. It'll be fun comedic stuff. We'll find out then. But with that, Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor at Potato on Blue Sky, _ on other places. I don't know. Yeah, like Matt? No, Matt did not say that. I mean, hi. Nate said, I also can't talk today.
So good.
We will be back here tomorrow for Moonlight and Roseville Beach, as well as Monday will be Championship Wrestling Memphis, and then Friday, I just dropped my crochet hook. Friday, we will have the first session of Divination, which is on Kickstarter right now. It is a tarot-based TTRPG. The creators of it are going to be running that game, so if you want a good example of what this is supposed to be, check it out. Monday or Friday will be character building, and then they'll play it the next Friday. Yeah, that's it. I don't know. We got lots of other things going on, but we'll talk about it when we get to them. We are going to raid over to Saves versus Death. They are playing some Cyberpunk Red. You know it. We love it. So let's go give them all the love. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out today. We're so much closer to figuring out this mystery, maybe, or we'll die trying.
I gave you answers tonight. Are you proud?
Or I'm gonna get a legion of people. I have so many more
questions, though. Every if you give me like 2 more questions, I'm just as lost.
One answer, 2 questions.
I'm gonna just get like 3 people and crit fail them, and then I'm gonna use my other ability. You choir bet.
We'll see what happens in 2 weeks.